Welcome back to Walk Off Wednesday. We are joined as always with Coach O'Brien. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, pleasure to be here again.
Yes. Coming back from your California and your Florida trips, warm weather, and you come back to Minnesota and greeted with a bunch of snow. What does that kind of look like for you coming back after playing a bunch of games and kind of getting thrown in a gym for a couple weeks and not knowing when your next game is?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. There was a lot of optimism earlier this year when we were able to practice outside so early. We had more practices, I think, at the start outside than we were inside. But it's also why you take those spring trips, right? Just in case weather doesn't cooperate. We're coming back with 14 games under our belt. So even if there's a little layoff, there's not kind of uncertainty about where you need to improve, and we've had an evaluation process already. But yeah, it's really tough when you walk outside and you see snow. And I think what we try to do then too is just understand that your players are going to be frustrated by that as well. So I think it's important that when games get pushed back too, you give your guys some time off, right? Get away, be kids. And then you start structurally bringing them back where if we're going to go back in the gym, let's not be there all day, right? Let's make sure that we concentrate on those little things that we know we need to work on, have a little bit more classroom sessions, and then just do things that keep them ready to go when we can play. And I think we've done a really good job of that so far.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully whenever the snow melts, we get into UMAC action and get going. And we briefly talked about the conference a little bit, but maybe if you could run through the teams quick and what we're expecting from them.
Yeah, just looking at the teams and kind of going through, I think, our league every year, I think, just gets better and better. I think the parity definitely shows that. I think, you've seen like North Central's a team that's kind of given us some trouble in the past. They've got one returning pitcher that is a guy that's been an all-conference type of arm. So I think they're definitely building something there. And then you go to a team like Northland. For them, they took a big step last year. They're one place away from getting into the conference tournament. We had to actually take a couple games for them at the last series of the year to get in the conference tournament. And I think they return a lot of those guys. So I think they'll be a team that has some depth and can swing a little bit. Martin Luther has already got some games under their belt in the win column, and offensively they've been swinging it too. The coach's kid there, Mason Cox, is kind of a force. He's a guy that potentially could be an All-American. So I think they've got some positive things happening too. And then as you kind of move up the standings there, you see teams like Northwestern, who's had kind of a rich history, and they might have arguably the best, three-man rotation, starting rotation in a weekend set in our conference. And they have a first-year coach, longtime assistant, so it'll be fun to see kind of their identity and how they play. Wisconsin Superior, their coach does a really good job of getting their guys ready to play. I think he gets the most out of them. They're usually really good defensively. They've lost some pretty big pieces, but just watching them play already, it looks like they filled those gaps. So I think they'll be pretty tough. Bethany Lutheran won our conference last year, went to a regional. They're a team that's, top to bottom, always overall kind of a team that should be there in the end. They've got, pitchers with some good velocity. Top to bottom from a 1 through 9 lineup, they can swing it. And they usually don't beat themselves. And then lastly, Crown College. They got a brand new coach there. They've had a lot of success the last couple of years. They return a lot of veteran guys. Again, they've been kind of an offensive juggernaut. So it'll be interesting to see kind of just with a new coach, kind of their philosophy of what they're doing. And then they have, a couple older arms that are coming back too. So it's going to be a tough, challenging conference this year, and we're excited to kind of get into the conference play.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun slate and fun games throughout the season. So as the Cougars, what kind of our expectations, or what do we need to do to have a successful UMAC season?
Yeah, I think just looking at, the start of the season, it gave us kind of a look at kind of what our identity is and where we need to improve. And I think we've really stressed lately just being very good at, staying focused in short increments, right? Having really good at bats each pitch, right? Making sure on the mound that, we're attacking hitters and, we're worried about the present and not what happened in the past or future outs we have to get. And so I think when we do that, we have a very athletic team. We have a very deep team. We've got some older guys that have a lot of experience, and we've got a lot of young, talented guys. So I think the sky's the limit in terms of, entering conference play. I think our guys are really excited to kind of mix it up and get in there. And, each game in conference is so important because that could be a game that wins you a conference championship or a game that keeps you out of a conference tournament. So it's just, even though there's snow on the ground, it's an exciting time of year.
Yes, for sure. Well, thanks for joining us as always, Coach. And we'll be right back with Walk-Off Wednesday with Josh Osten. Welcome back to Walk-Off Wednesday. We are now joined with Josh Osten. Josh, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So in your 3 years here as pitching for the Cougars, you've been in a lot of situations of starting, long relief, and closing games. So what goes into those situations? What's your mindset going into those games?
I think my mindset is just to always be prepared no matter when my name is going to be called. I'm just ready to go and bring energy and bring competitiveness and be the best teammate that I can while I'm on the mound. And then while I'm off the mound, just again, being a great teammate, picking everybody up, and just being ready to go whenever my name is called. So. Yeah,
for sure. And down in the Florida trip, you had a great game, a complete game, a CG as some would call it. So what's kind of your mindset as that game goes through, as you're kind of getting going a little bit and maybe finishing the game for your team?
Yeah, so that game, it had its ups and downs in it for sure. Started off doing all right, and then we score a run and then give up 3 in the bottom of the inning that we scored, and I got a little rattled, to be honest. We saw David go down, and so after that, with a little help from Brecken, just picked myself up and then went on and just pitched each inning, went inning by inning, pitch by pitch, just really tried to give my team energy after we saw like a little bump in the road there, but then just try to give my team energy, give myself energy to just be able to close that game out. So.
Yeah, for sure. That's an exciting game and a big win for you guys. So now, like I mentioned, you're in year 3. You've had a lot of experiences here. So maybe talk a little bit about your career here so far and what maybe your expectations are for this year's team.
Yeah, so I think in my career here, I've definitely had some really good kind of mentors or like leaders before me, whether that be Colin Lindgren teaching me like what my mentality should be on the mound, how I should attack hitters, or Brian Vanyo teaching me like how I should take care of my body, how I should prepare every day, or Cole Mamengay just keeping me having fun every single day that I'm at the field. And so that's just really helped me mold myself into the player that I am today. And it's just helping me, like I carry it into every day that I can, just try to be the best teammate and just attack every day. And then regards to this year, I think we have a good group of guys. In the past 3 years, like with our junior class, we've seen a lot of success. And I think this year especially, we have a good group of guys, a good group of young guys. We're a young team. We don't have any seniors, so that's exciting to be a part of. And with the hopeful success that we have this year, we can even take it into next year. But I think we have a good outlook this year, just ready to go attack conference play. So.
Awesome. Yeah, should be a fun year. We'll play a little game here with a rapid fire. I'll ask you questions. You can give me a teammate or a former teammate, as the best answer and maybe a reason why. So the first question is a PO that thinks he could be a hitter.
All right, so my answer for this one is Alex Bauman. He had some good innings for us, thought he could hit a little bit, so Alex Bauman's my answer for that one.
Yes, that's a good answer. Position player that thinks they can pitch.
I always heard about the town ball legend, Evan Benson, so I'm going to have to go with him.
Nice.
He was always begging Coach to get some innings. So.
And then the last one here is had the best wardrobe style / best dresser.
I'm going to have to go with my guys, Ryan Wilhelm and Brian Vanyo. They were always just stunting in their vests, so I'm going to have to go with them.
Vest season, always.
Vest season, always.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Josh. We'll be right back with Walk-Off Wednesday. Welcome back to Walk-Off Wednesday. We are now joined with Landen Meyerdirk. Landen, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Landen, so you're a freshman here, and you've started your season starting 14 games in center field. How do you think your season's gone so far?
Yeah, I think it's gone pretty well so far. Starting basically all the games has been really exciting. Coming into the season, didn't really know what I was going to be. And just helping the team out with getting the wins and getting on base and helping out defensively, I thought I've been doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, for sure. And you're our first freshman actually for Walk-Off Wednesday, so I know it's a huge accomplishment for you, I'm guessing. But what has that transition been like from going maybe to high school baseball to college baseball?
Yeah, it's definitely a big eye-opening, seeing like the different pitchers, and they got a lot better stuff here at college. And then I thought with defensively, we were able to do a good job with attacking the ball and just getting the ball.
For sure. All right, so you also hit your first college home run in Florida, a 3-run homer that helped secure or take the lead and secure the win for the Cougars. So what did that feel like coming through for your team in a big moment, and then also being able to put that Cougar home run jacket on that I'm hearing about?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I didn't really think it was going to go out right away, right as I hit it, but as I was rounding first, I looked up and I saw that it went over. And then as I got in the dugout, everybody was pretty hyped and excited for me.
Yeah, for sure. And home run trot, were you a full speed guy or were you nice and slow? What was that?
As I was rounding second, I slowed up a little bit, so just took my time. I'll take everyone that I can get.
Yes, for sure. So now we'll do a fun little game of rapid fire like we did earlier in the show. So I'll ask you a question, you can give me a quick answer. So the first one is name a current teammate you think best answers the following questions. Who do you think has the most accurate college basketball bracket right now?
I think Blake Imhoff does. I've heard that he's got a pretty good bracket going right now.
Nice. Hopefully you can keep that going.
Yeah.
Next one is most talkative outfielder.
With this one, I'd probably go with Owen DeLong. I'd say we're all pretty like the same talkative, but I'd say he's the most.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last one, who should never be allowed to drive a van on a spring trip?
I would have to go with Jacob Tobertsoffer, also a freshman, just because, I don't know, I just don't really trust him.
Yeah, the poor guy's getting beat up a little bit. Last episode, someone was saying he can't make a pizza.
Yeah, that's
Dang,
what I heard.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for joining us. And thanks for joining us for another episode. Roll Cougs.